Well, welcome everyone. My name is Paul Menifee, and I'm the VP of Recruitment here at the MCC chapter of PTK. And we're excited to have you join us for the second day of our Awareness Week. For those of you joining us for the first time this week, PTK is a national and actually an international wide honor society for students from community colleges, and schools actually each have their own chapters, and MCC's chapter is called Beta Pi Theta. And so what we're doing this week is just a short series of 30-minute webinars with where I'll be leading conversations with different officers within our chapter of PTK, kind of just talking through the different aspects of PTK to give you a little feel for what we do, what we're all about. And we're mostly talking about what the four pillars that PTK are built upon, which are our core values, our beliefs that really drive everything we do and what we're about. And those pillars are scholarship, leadership, service, and fellowship. So kind of talking about how do you grow it scholarly and how do you gain scholarships financially, talking about how does PTK seek to build you up and their members as leaders so that it'll prepare you for future careers and management, and talking about service, how do you serve both your school and your local community and why that's valuable, and then fellowship, especially through this past year, we all know how important fellowship really is, but that also builds lifelong connections and network for you throughout your life and your career. So yesterday we actually had a conversation with Angie, our chapter's president. You can watch that. That'll be on our YouTube page later. We've just basically talked about the history of PTK, a little brief overview of what we are, and some general questions there. So it's a really good resource for you if you want more of a broad perspective on what PTK is. But today we're going to be talking about the first pillar, scholarships. And to tell us more about it, we have our current student vice president of scholarships, Marcus Keene. Hey, Marcus.
Hello, I'm Marcus. I'm the vice president of scholarship, just like he said. Currently, I'm in my first year at Metro for my liberal arts transfer. And after that, I'm going to pursue a degree in criminal justice, and that's all working towards the main goal of being a criminal attorney. As a criminal attorney, I'd like to defend the innocent. So that's my introduction.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and why don't you just tell us a little bit about scholarships and what's that all about? Why are scholarships so important in PTK?
Yeah, so it has its own day and its own pillar because it's a huge part of what PTK is all about. It's one of the great benefits of being a PTK member. It helps make sure students get the education that they need without the setbacks from money. It also looks really good academically and with merit. PTK offers just about every type of scholarship there is when it comes to community college students, transfer students, and even graduate school students, which I'm sure we'll be getting more into later. So regardless of your academic interests, I'm sure this pillar will have something to accommodate your needs at every step.
Yeah, that's super true. That's extremely helpful and interesting as well. Is there a place for people if they join PTK or when they join PTK to go look and see all the different types of scholarships and what they are to offer?
Yeah, so I'd say there's a couple places, but the best overall for scholarships would probably be ptk.org. They have a bunch of other things on the website. The main other one besides that would probably be MyHub, just because you can say you can see all the events going on with it and all the deadlines on MyHub, as well as ptk.org.
Perfect. So when we talk about these scholarships, does everyone qualify for all of them, or are there specific ones for different fields of study or different people groups and things like that?
Yeah, so not everyone's going to qualify for every scholarship because some of them are more specific. But when you fill out the application on ptk.org, it filters out things for you. So there's scholarships for all sorts of things. There's one for like if you have a legal guardian that works within a correctional facility. There's one for nursing. There's quite a few with random scenarios like that. So there's all sorts of qualifications and scholarships. There's bound to be one for what you're doing or whatever you're interested in. So
yeah, no, that's great. I think it's good to know that it's not just all general scholarships. I know looking into college, sometimes you see all these ones that's like no essay and no requirements, just apply. But then it's like, well, then it's way harder to get. So knowing that there's
Mhm.
scholarships that are for specific people, I think is a good thing. What when talking about the amounts, what are some averages on the amounts for different scholarships? Are they all pretty much flat rate, or is it a wide variety of amounts?
There's not really an exact average because there's several different ones and they all kind of have different amounts. I'd say the transfer average is probably about 2,500 for the transfer scholarships, but that's the only one that we can really pinpoint an average on. So,
Okay. Are there quite a few with higher amounts then? Like, what are some of the top scholarships that people can apply for through PTK?
well, and through the transfer fair, I learned that some colleges have like even 20,000 for a transfer. It's close to
Wow.
full rides for some of them. So it kind of just depends on what college you're looking at.
Okay. So even the school you look to transfer to will be different based on that.
Yeah, for the transfer scholarships.
Awesome. Um, so, well, you kind of just mentioned this, but I was going to ask if there are scholarships for PTK members after four-year universities and looking into grad school as well.
Oh, yep. So that's a little bit different of a process because it's higher up there. So when that time happens, it's probably best just to email scholarships at ptk.org and they'll
Okay,
help you with that process a little bit.
that's awesome. Um, is there a time in the year when people start applying for these that the scholarship are there deadlines for the different scholarships? Is it all the same or is it just broad across the whole year?
So our two major deadlines as of right now are May 14th and December 1st. But thankfully, the scholarship deadlines do not dictate when you can submit your application. So you can turn in your application any time of the year and it'll carry over for whenever the next opening is. So the application stays in the system until you want to make changes to it. So it'll always count.
Oh,
When
that's super cool. So basically, if someone joins, they could apply before May 14th this year, but if they miss that and apply like May 16th, they would still be in the runnings for the next one.
yeah, it'll still be in the system for the next
Okay.
one.
That's awesome. When you apply, does that is there one application that goes towards lots of scholarships, or do you constantly have to apply individually?
Yeah, so you fill out one application and it filters it all out for you for whichever ones fit you. And then if something happens, like you change what you're doing, you can go back and change your answers and it'll refilter for you.
That's awesome. And am I right in saying PTK nationwide or worldwide gives out like around $5 million or something like that?
Yeah, I believe so. They give out all the scholarships they can. So it's best to apply because they don't leave with any leftovers because they use all of them. So
That's great to hear. So even if someone like if there's like a random one that someone didn't apply for, they're going to find a way to give that out.
yeah, so kind of just like a filtering thing. If you're the best one up and then process like the closest to it, you'll probably get the scholarship. So even if you think you're not like the best candidate for it, it might trickle down to you eventually.
That's awesome. Another question are so for these scholarships, are they only for directly covering scholarship or school fees, or can they be used for other areas as well?
Unlike a lot of normal scholarships, they actually go straight into your pocket, so you can use it on anything you need. So books or groceries, rent, anything like that. So
That's super helpful. I hopefully though people are wiser than I was when I first started college and they use them for what they need them. um, um, well, from there, who should someone contact if they want to know more? Can they contact you directly, or do you recommend going through the school?
yeah, there's actually a lot of different emails you can try. I'd say the main one is probably scholarships at ptk.org. If you ever forget that email, you can probably just email anyone on the officer team and it'll eventually find its way to the right person. Or you can just email me. My email is mxkeen at mail.mccneb.edu.
Perfect. Well, awesome. Thanks so much, Marcus. That's a lot of great information. And if there are some people who joined a little late, but if there's any questions you have, you can put those into the Q&A session. We have Fran and Lindsay both watching over that for us. I believe, and I think they're also dropping links for you if you're following along there. Real quick, as we're waiting to see if any of those will come in, everyone who has attended the session today is going to actually be put into a drawing for the end of the week, along with everyone else who attends any of the sessions. And you're going to be entered. We're giving away one free membership to PTK. And then we're also giving away a couple of gift cards for Archetype Coffee and for Starbucks. But on top of that, if you apply for PTK before the end of Saturday, this coming weekend, which would be, what is that date? Is that the 8th? I should know that.
This Saturday is the 8th, yeah.
Yeah, the 8th. As long as you apply before the end of the day, the 8th, we have actually another drawing for all the people who apply. And there will be 5 more people who will be given free membership or fee waivers to get into PTK. So just make sure you get that application in, and you'll find out next Monday is when we'll make the announcement of those. We have a question here. Okay, question. Could you explain to me what the Endeavor essay is for the competitive scholarships? Marcus, can you answer that?
Yeah, I know a good amount about it. So it's the essay questions effectively just asking like a scenario in which you identified where you needed to take the lead and how you took the lead and how that process went. I'm unaware of how much it's worth. I just remember the question. I can look it up real quick.
Perfect.
Let's see here. My computer is being all slow.
No, that's all good. And the process. Say, sorry, go for it.
It should say on ptk.org, but let me see.
Another question while you're looking for that. The application process itself, what does that look like? Because you said the deadline is May 14th. When do people normally hear back about scholarships?
I'm actually unaware of that because I do not filter who gets the scholarships. Okay. But it kind of just depends. Like if you're doing a scholarship or a transfer scholarship, that just depends on the college itself.
Okay.
Because some colleges I talked to, they said they'll get like back within a week or so, but then other ones took quite a while, it sounded like.
Okay. Perfect. I think that answered the question. Awesome. Is there anything else, Marcus, that you have that you think is information that we could use for scholarships?
Yeah, I would just make sure to proofread everything that you do, because a lot of times people just fill out their essay and just submit it because they're tired of doing it. But if you're doing like an essay one, the best thing to do would be proofread, maybe get someone else to look through it, and make sure you actually don't make it all about yourself, apply it to the community and such as well. But also you want to brag about yourself a little bit because it is a scholarship about you. So.
And when it comes to scholarships also, do you deal with MCC scholarships at all? Or does PTK help with those at all?
Yeah, I believe they help a little bit hand in hand, like with awareness and such. But.
Yeah.
The Metro scholarship process is pretty easy too. You just go to mcc.neb or edu.
Okay.
And you just go. Like you can literally just type out Metropolitan Community College scholarships and just follow the links from there.
Perfect. That's very good to know as well. And there's that can be applied for 4 times a year, correct? Each quarter.
The scholarships?
Yeah.
Yeah, majority of them. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, again, another question in. Will the Writing Center help me with my grammar in the essay questions?
Yeah, they should be able to help you. Also, the scholarship branch for PTK, or the scholarship pillar, I should say. If you have any questions, or we can also help you proofread it, or just help you with that application process. So if you just shoot someone an email from PTK, we can help you out with that. We've set up private Zoom calls before and helped with that process.
Perfect. Oh, that's awesome. That seems really great. That would have been nice to have when I was in college. Um, and what do you recommend when it comes to letters of application or letters of recommendations? Are those a big thing on these scholarships?
Yeah, they can be pretty big. You can get the scholarship without them, but getting the recommendations will help a lot. Um, a lot of people recommend that you just ask an advisor, like an advisor you ask a lot of questions to. You can usually put them down as a recommendation, or a teacher that you know pretty well. Anyone within the anyone within the Metropolitan Community College that you know well. Um, that's a form of teacher or such, can help a lot with that.
That's great. Does almost every scholarship require those then?
I don't think all of them do. Um, a decent percentage of them do, though.
Okay. Oh, another question in the Q&A. Can PTK itself help me get a letter of recommendation?
Yeah, they definitely can, especially if you make your face be seen a lot in the PTK community. Then they'll definitely help with it. If you haven't been to fellowship or anything like that, you can still shoot an email. They can probably help you with it, but it's easier the more stuff you show up to,
Hmm.
because they can say more about you. So
No, that's great. Awesome. Well, I think that is mostly all I have, unless someone else has some more questions. This will be going on the YouTube page as well. And just a reminder, if you have any questions, you can always shoot some email out to PTK officers or our faculty advisors. Oh yeah, here's another question. Will submitting my involvement record help with letters of recommendation?
yeah, they kind of go hand in hand. Involvement records are very important, and PTK can actually help with involvement records because you can build a lot of stuff on there. They'll help with resumes and stuff. But for the actual question, they will help a lot. And the people that you put on involvement record, like the advisors, whatever, that can also go on letter of recommendation and vice versa. So I'd say they're both important, and they both kind of go hand in hand.
Okay,
So I'd say yes.
excellent. Actually, another thing, can you speak to how Teams and how we can chat through Teams with people and how that can help with a lot of these different things? How with if you have questions about scholarships and things like that?
Yeah, so Teams is kind of just like email, except it puts like a whole group together. So the whole PTK community can be put together, and each little different section, like the honor and action, scholarship, they can each get their own little channels. So you can really talk to the specific people that you need to talk to. Um, if you are on Teams, it makes it a lot easier to talk to and find the people you need for scholarships and any other questions. So on Teams, you can just message any one of us, just like you would an email, and
Okay.
you may get a faster reply. I know I reply faster through Teams. So
Yeah. Yeah, Teams seems like it's kind of like Slack that a lot of companies use, but it's really helpful because anyone with an MCC email can get Teams for free.
yeah, you can even get it on your phone, or you can get it on laptop.
Oh, awesome.
You can even just use it on your browser on the laptop. You don't actually have to download it if you don't want to.
Yeah, that's great. Another question. So when I request a letter of recommendation from a teacher, should I attach my IR with that request?
Um, Kind of depends on the situation, but I probably would, just because they would probably look at what you're doing, and then they'd probably put something involving your involvement record onto their letter of recommendation. That will help a lot because they'll be able to speak on it. especially if they're involved in what you're doing in the involvement record. That'll be important.
Yeah. Well, with all of that, I mean, just what we really want you guys to get out of this and know about PTK is PTK, it being an international organization or honors organization, is here to help you. It's here to help community college students. And we here as officers and people part of PTK, we're here to help you. We want you to succeed. We want to help you get into four-year colleges if that's what you want, or help you build the connections to jobs you want or leadership structures or whatever. And that's why scholarships is such an important part of what PTK is, because it helps you make that education possible, and gives you guidance on getting those things. It looks good on resumes to have scholarships. It's great on the bank to have scholarships. And so we just want you to know that if you have any questions, make sure you reach out. We're always here to help. I know Marcus is always here to help. He gets back quickly, so that's great. So thanks, Marcus, for all that information.
Yeah, thank you. There's quite
And
a
then,
few places you can reach out to.
yeah,
You can do Teams, email. The officer team, you can email them or go through Teams, or you can do PTK scholarship email, or even the MCC email.
perfect.
What are you gonna say?
I was just going to say, so thanks everyone for attending. If you want to learn more about leadership, that will be tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. And that's going to be with the VP of Leadership, Bree. And so make sure to jump in there. Don't forget to apply to PTK before the end of the day, Saturday, for a chance to win a free membership. So you don't even have to pay the fee to be in. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great day. Thanks, Marcus.
Yep, thank you.